important because the question is, does Jesus' baptism change the way you live? Well, if you've taken those vows, then they should change the way you live. Because you've now made vows to stand against the forces of evil, the forces that go against our God. Do your actions align with your baptismal vows? It has been a really rough year. And yes, I am talking about 2026, and yes, it is only January 11th. But it has been a really rough year. Think about it. We've invaded Venezuela. Okay? Just this week, we had the murder of Renee Good. And protests and violence across our country. We've had others attacked in Portland over the weekend. We've had school shootings and murders in our own community in Romulus and Ypsilanti. And I don't know about you, but my phone has been ringing off the hook with hurting people. It is only January 11th, and it has been a rough year of forces of evil and wickedness going against our God. I refuse to believe that our God, who went into those waters and said, I'm entering the world of chaos and pain, and I'm inviting this new way of life of peace and love, would look at the last 11 days and say, I think everything's okay in this world. I cannot reconcile that. So are you living your baptismal vows to fight against evil and wickedness in this world? Because our God came into the waters to bring a new way of life, of peace and love. Here's a really, really simple example, and I did not warn you I was going to show this picture again, so I apologize. The polar bear plunge, okay, happens every year for 30-some years as a fundraiser for Special Olympics. As a Special Olympics family, we participate in many ways. 2 years ago, Leanne chose to do the plunge with some of her friends at Saline High School to raise money. And every person who does this plunge is ridiculously crazy. And they say, the water's fine, you should do it, come raise money with us, you're fine. And then they get out and their teeth turn blue and they're chattering and they're crazy, right? But they do it because it's an act of justice. It's this act of good faith for a good cause. And they get up the courage to do it. And in the picture with the red plungester, they call it, it's a dumpster that travels the state of Michigan full of ice-cold water, and it was ice-cold, wasn't it? And at the high school, they all get dressed up, and you can see her and her girlfriends there, and they jump into this ice-cold water full of courage and terror because they know it's for a good cause. They know it's their act of justice to help the marginalized, to help the needy, to help the vulnerable people who need it. And they say, come on in, the water's fine. Come on in. And they all get out and they have those gigantic smiles while they shiver because they lived what they believed, despite the fact that it's cold. Our faith is like this because it's terrifying and it requires courage to act. And you stand up there looking at the waters and everyone's watching you. But you have to jump. You have to act because you know it's the right thing for a good cause. Because you know it's to help the marginalized, the oppressed, and the vulnerable. And you know you made a commitment to do it. And even though you may be freezing, and when you get out, you're smiling because you know you did it. Your faith requires courage to act and to jump, even when it's hard and painful. But when you do it, you're smiling and you feel good because you lived up to your vows to help others and to act no matter what. That's what it's about. That's what baptism's about when you stand up there and you take your vows. To live differently, to be part of a community, to do what Jesus did and to love the way that Jesus loved. So how is God's glory revealed? Through you. It reveals God's identity through his Christ, but his glory is revealed through you when you live up to your baptismal vows to act in the face of evil, to love the way that Jesus loved, even when it requires courage. So yeah, come on in, the water's fine. But you know what? You took a promise to do just that. In the face of this crazy, crazy world, the way that Jesus entered the waters. So come on in. Water's fine.